is not the same thing as being productive. Your productivity requires a product. If your screen time is over 2 hours a day, accept it. You have a social media addiction. Your phone work mode is what is standing between you and you becoming a millionaire. My name is Adeola Badmus. I remain your host and your boss. And the beautiful thing about today is that we're going to be focusing on deep work, how to become laser focused. So the learning outcome is that I'm going to explain tools and techniques you can use to 10x your focus. And this will help you to get into high quality work that can move the needle. Work that can help you make significant impact and change both in your personal life and in your business life. I want to thank everyone that has been following this podcast. I also want to announce that we moved from 52 subscribers at the beginning to 140 plus subscribers. Thank you. Now, if you have been following and you have not joined or subscribed to this channel, please do so. It will help us reach a wider audience, and then I can produce more impactful content. Thank you. Now, the first thing I want us to look at is busyness is not productivity. Your productivity requires a product. Now, let me explain that. So when I get to the office, the first thing I usually do is I'll do a walk around. Then after that, I would go to my laptop, check some mails, then tweak our adverts, and then occasionally some people will come into the office. Austin will come in and bring his problem. I will respond to them, and then if I have training, then I would take my training, and then any loose task that I have. Now, if I'm not mistaken, most of you fall under that category, something very similar. But the issue with that is that there is a huge gap in being busy and being productive. Now remember that I've said that your productivity must require a product. So I have changed. So what I have now, or what I do now, is that I usually have like 3 or 4 projects that I do, and I call this project product. So I'm going to go through a list of the projects or products that I currently work on, so you need to understand it better. So product 1 is my PhD thesis writing. The frequency, I usually do it Monday to Thursday, and the allotted time is 1 hour 30 minutes, and it's scheduled to hold between 5 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. Product 2 is my health, which is the exercise that I do, and I usually do that Monday to Friday, and the allotted time is 30 minutes, and it's scheduled to hold between 6:30 a.m. and 7:30 a.m. Product 3 is the Odyssey. The Odyssey is the founder and CEO retreat that I'm organizing in Kenya, which is happening December 14. I usually work on it Monday to Fridays between 2 hours to 4 hours, usually between the hours of 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. or 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Product 4 is my podcast, and then my podcast is split into 3 categories: scripting, shooting, editing, and publishing together. Scripting happens Friday morning for 2 hours between 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. Shooting happens later in the day on Friday for 3 hours between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. Then editing happens on Saturday between 8 to 10 hours while I'm watching football, and that takes place between 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Now, if you notice, those are my products. Then every other thing fits into it, other work activities then fit around that. Now, when you say productivity, it means that you are taking deliberate actions towards the product that you have identified. Now, there's something that you need to know. So a productive day is where the allotted time I have given to those items, I used it for those activities. Now, what you should do is that don't wake up in the morning and say, this is what I want to do, and then you now put your product on that. Plan the product a month ahead, and then allot the time alongside your routines, and that's how you move from busyness to productive. Action task, you can note it down. Identify 3 high impact products that will make the most significant change either in your work or in your personal life that you are going to execute in the coming months. And then identify the time block in which you are going to be doing that product or working on it. So once you have a product and you start working on it, you are moving towards productive and you are leaving behind busyness. So the second thing I want to focus on is use deep work for high quality product activities. Now, the question is, so what is deep work? So deep work is when you work on something or a task for an extended period of time. That is for a long period of time without distractions or interruptions. Interruptions or distractions could be people, technology, other tasks. Now, for it to qualify as deep work, I always say that you have to spend at least 90 minutes on that particular process. 1 hour, 30 minutes. Now, what is high quality product work? I spoke about products in the first explanation, right? High quality product work is any work that can move the needle. Any work that can make significant impact or change to either your business or your life. Now, having said that, certain things are challenging to pull off. An example, learning programming or coding is challenging to do. I remember when I was trying to learn financial modeling and data analysis. Because I'm a facilitator, I have to learn hard things quickly. The only other tool I could use to do that was deep work. Another thing you should know is that if you want to perform at an elite level, that is an exceptional level, you need deliberate practice. And deliberate practice requires deep work. My technical expertise when it comes to search engine engineering for marketing, it's rare because I've been on it for about 12 years. But to achieve the level of mastery that I did that through deep work. Now, in the book titled Deep Work by Carl Newport, he explained that to produce high quality work, the formula is the time spent multiplied by the intensity of focus. And what that means is that if you want to produce high quality work, you have to extend the time you're spending, and then you have to ensure that your intensity of focus is exceptionally high. Now, you must also understand the concept called attention residue. When you move from one task to another task in a short period, you carry the thoughts of that previous task into the new task, and that creates what? Attention residue, which usually taints your focus. So what needs to happen is that for you to clear out the attention residue, that's why I say you need about 90 minutes. So the first 15-20 minutes, there will still be some level of distraction, but 30 minutes into intense focus, you are fully in. And that's why it's not good to switch from one task to the other task. And that's why I don't even like the idea of multitasking. Now, to produce at an elite level, you need to practice deep work. Now, let me leave you with a task concerning deep work. So this coming weekend, I want you to think about the product work that is most significant, that can move the needle for you. And then I want you to look for a 90-minute time block that you're going to be using to work on that stuff using deep work. And remember, deep work is work that you do for an extended period of time with no distraction and no interruption from people, technology, or other tasks. The third concept I want to emphasize is social media is the enemy fashioned against you. Don't take breaks from distractions. Instead, take breaks from your focus. Some of us, we are constantly distracted. And they will not say, let me get off social media and do some work. And yet they do you. The other way it should be is you are working for so long and I say, let me take a break and do more social media. That's the order it should be, not the other way around. Yes, the way we were working, I was working on something and I was working on the Odyssey and I said, I've been working on this for too long. Faith was there and then I said, let me take a break. But instead of me doing social media, I said, let's go and buy drinks for our events. So I just did something else to relieve because the focus was too much. And I was beginning to have slight headaches. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Don't let your village people catch you. If you notice that you are on any of this platform and you are doing screen time of anything above 2 hours, in the survey we did in the office, we saw that some people's screen time is between 6 to 8 hours. It's demonic. If you are doing screen time of more than 2 hours a day, there's a big problem. Now, I will list the platforms: Netflix, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, formerly known as Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, WhatsApp status, sports and news sites. Some of us are blogs. Some of us will say, thank God they don't call my own. They don't get you. Your village people don't get you. Now, to be more productive, remember, your productivity must have a product. And your product is that which can move the needle. And moving the needle means that it can make significant change or impact. Now, to be more productive, I will share some of the mindsets, toolkits, and techniques that I use. The first one is to accept that you have a social media addiction. Gang. And how do you know that you have a social media addiction? When you get anxious once you experience any form of boredom. Example, as I go into the toilet to use the restroom, you carry phone. As you are sitting at a dinner date waiting for your partner, you carry phone. As you are eating, you carry phone. As you are walking somewhere, you carry phone. As you are getting back from work and just trying to rest, you carry phone. If your screen time is more than 2 hours, you have an addiction. So the second point to reduce your distractions after the acceptance that you have a social media addiction is not to use social media as work. Oh yeah. So I used to have this issue, and then what I did was I started using what we call work mode. So I would activate work mode on my phone, and what it does is that it will deactivate my social media apps from the hours of 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. My productivity spiked, and And luckily, I've been able to recruit a couple of people in the office into work mode. So when you set up work mode, it helps you to force that distraction. What you don't even realize is that social media use for you is involuntary. You don't know when you pick up your phone, go to the app, and open it. You don't usually know that. And that leads me to the third recommendation for managing your distraction, which is schedule your social media usage. And what that means is set a time aside that I'm going to go on social media. Don't let it just be any time. I've already told you not to use social media at your workplace. So even if you're working at home, unless your job requires that you use the tool and they only use it for the job that you're supposed to do. Schedule your social media usage, and you will come to learn that boredom, when you're bored, you have your best ideas. 8 to 5 is out of it. Then you have the hours in the evening. So you could say my social media usage starts from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. You can even set an alarm to say start social media time, so that you give yourself that, okay, if you feel that it rewards you, then you do 5 p.m. up to what? 7 p.m. Then set up focus mode on your phone. And focus mode can now be what? From maybe 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And that's when you want to do another level of what? Deep work. Between 7 to 8, where you are not using social media, use it for something else, which I will discuss in the next explanation. The fourth one, which is plan the communication with family and friends. Some of us will be on the phone and talk to somebody for 2-3 hours. You know yourself. Plan the communication what? 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, check up on your mom, check up on your dad, check up on your sibling. Talk to your boyfriend for 15-20 minutes, identify the key highlights of the day. Are you talking for what? 2 hours? And you are stagnating. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help you in any way. So ensure that you structure, like if you are going to use focus mode and work mode, you could include WhatsApp into it, and someone say, how would they contact you? They will call you with phone. They what? Everybody will just start knowing that you don't use WhatsApp at this time, because you know the danger. Notifications are evil. Once you hear a particular notification like this, your body will be itching you to press the phone. Somebody don't send a message. And some of us have special notification too for different messages. Once you hear it, that coin drop is my own. I know it's a WhatsApp message, and I know it's not a group message, and then my body will be itching. But if I cannot hear it, I cannot respond to it. Now, another point, which is the fifth one, is to set sleep time mode. And in sleep time mode, obviously what happens is that it will turn off notification and all that, and then you can set on sleep time mode from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Some of us, we don't know we are hurting as we wake up in the middle of the night and be pressing phone. We'll be on social media. If you wake up and you're not feeling how to sleep, leave the phone now, be there on the bed. And you keep telling me it's not an addiction. No. So set sleep time mode. So the task I'm going to give you is, you need to set up work mode on your phone. You need to set up focus mode on your phone. And you need to set up sleep mode on your phone. And if you really want to make a change to boost your productivity, you do it today. Mine, let me share. Work mode starts 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Then focus mode is in the morning during my PhD writing. That is 5 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. Then I sleep at 10. And most people that know me know that I sleep at 10. And that's when my sleep mode starts. So set those modes on your phone. Set an alarm for when to schedule your social media usage. Not more than 2 hours a day. I wish you the best on that. So I will explain 3 approaches you can employ to practice deep work. So the first one is 3 approaches for practicing deep work. The first one is to go on deep work retreats. I know the kind of retreats that you people usually like to go on. Blessing. Which kind of retreat do you like?
Fun retreat.
Fun retreats. Austin? Which kind of retreats do you like?
Retreats.
But this one, I go on what? Deep work retreats. It could be spiritual, it could be for exams, it could be for year planning. You take maybe 2 or 3 days and you go take leave. It's not with a babe or no carrying body. You take leave. Maybe go somewhere like Lag. In the morning, go to the front of Lagoon front. Plan out yourself. If you have money, you can lodge somewhere small. And then you soak yourself. Some people go to the top of the mountain for spiritual. So 3 days, between 3 to 5 days. I did one earlier this year where you take time and that you focus on one singular thing that can move the needle and you work on it. That's the first one. The second approach to deep work is to do what I call the deep work day. So the deep work day is that you could take 1 day. Do you understand? It could be a Saturday, it could be a Sunday, or you could even take leave when you know that everybody is not going to be around. And that particular day, you focus very strongly on working on something that can move the needle. So it's slightly different from retreat, which is like 3 to 5 days, yeah? So 3 to 5 days retreat could be once a year. So deep work day could be just maybe once a month. Then the third one that you could also practice, which I call the 90 minutes daily deep work, which is when I used to write my PhD thesis in the morning. So in the 90 minutes daily deep work, what you do is that you find a 90-minute block, you turn off your phone, you turn off all distractions, and you focus on one item at a time. We have come to the end of today's session, and it's been an amazing discussion. Thank you everyone for joining. I remain your host, Adeola Badmus. Stay blessed.